right, so when you first turn the computer on, it's going to ask for a password, and it's just written right there. It's parties with a capital P. And then what you're going to do is, let me minimize this. So when you first open the computer, it looks like this. You're going to double click on this iCombat right here. And then a window is going to come up that's going to say something like you're offline, and you have so many days. You don't need to be online or anything. It'll have a launch button over here in this right-hand corner.
Okay.
So you'll push launch, and then it takes a minute, but then once you've pushed launch, then you're going to get a screen that looks similar to this. Okay. And it'll have this menu on the left-hand side. What you're going to do is then push play. And sometimes it just takes a second. There it goes. Now, this is like a previous game, so it's not one you can play. So what you're going to do is you go to add right here. And then you can play any of these highlighted games here except for this custom tickets. We don't have the right equipment for that.
Okay.
I usually start out playing the custom time limit game. And so here you go, you have your black and, well, let's change that to red. You can just click on the color there. And then the way, they've got friendly fire turned on. You want to just check that and make sure it's turned off. That way they can't hit their own teammates. You've got a countdown here that you can change, and then you've got the duration of the game. You can change it to be however long you want. And then also, usually the way I set up this game is I give them 1 health and infinite lives with a 5-second respawn. And what that means is they'll get hit and then have 5 seconds of waiting, and then they'll get another life again. So they'll stay in the game the whole time.
They don't really go back
Yeah,
to a checkpoint.
and they don't get out. Okay? So, but this team, they didn't set this one up the same. So let me just, so you can just click on those fields to change them. Then what you're going to do is you need to assign the guns to the teams. So what you do is you come over here, and if you'll click on the word black, it's going to highlight all the black guns, and then over here it now says add users. So you're just going to click right there where it says add users, and that drops all the black guns onto the black team. And then you just do the same with the red. Click on red, and then put them on the red team down there. Now, right now, they're all red because none of the guns are turned on.
Okay.
But when you turn them on, once you turn your guns on, then they're going to be white here. And instead of saying offline, they're going to say ready. Then so you'll be all set. Then what you're going to do is you're going to push load right up here in this top corner. And then you'll get a status bar across the top here that'll just kind of go back and forth between red and green as it talks to the guns. And then your screen's going to change a little bit. You're going to get like the black team over here and the red team over here, and in the middle you'll have a play button. You'll push the play button, they'll play their game. At the end, all the guns are going to stop at the same time. It'll make like a sound to end the game, and then they can come back to the screen to see their scores. It's going to come up with like a little window that says which team won, and you can just look in the middle. You'll see that there's going to be 2 scores, 1 for each team, and you'll just click on, like, if the black team had the most points, you'll just click on black, and then it awards extra points.
Okay.
Then what I recommend doing is clicking on this button right here that opens up this second screen, because that will sort the players between 1st and 6th place. And the kids usually like to see their stats that way. And once you've opened this window, you can keep it open by just doing an Alt-Tab to go back and forth between the 2 screens. Okay? If you decide not to open this screen, then at the end of the game, there'll just be a back button in this bottom right-hand corner. You'll click back, and it'll take you back to this screen here. Okay? And then if you're just going to play the exact type of game again, you're just going to push duplicate. And that's going to keep the guns in all the exact same spots. And then you're just going to and give all the exact same information. Then you'll just push load again and they'll play.
Okay.
And if you decide you want to change, I usually play this game 2 or 3 times, and then I change it and I do a last team standing. So then you'd go to add, and the last team standing right there. And let's see, we need to add a team. So you have 2 different teams there. And then in this game, usually the way I set it up is I give them so much health. So that means, like I give them like 15 health. So that means they're going to be allowed to be hit 15 times. And then I usually only give them one life. And if you give them only 1 life, then you don't need a respawn time. If you decide to give them 2 lives, then you would need a respawn time. Okay? And what that just means is they're allowed to be hit 15 times before their gun's going to stop working. And the reason why I kind of switch it up and play this is it just teaches them teamwork and strategy and stuff. Whereas when they're playing the game where they never get out, they have a tendency to just...
It gets boring.
Yeah, it gets boring kind of quickly. So, and then you just want to set up both teams to be the same. And then also in this game, once one team has eliminated the other team, it will end no matter how much time is left on the clock. So, and then when a team does get eliminated, it's going to end and it'll say, hey, red team won. And you'll just push OK. It'll give those extra points and then the kids can see their scores again. And again, just because you're setting up a brand new game, you would need to, move the guns over again. But then you just push load and play, and you're on.
Cool.
Does that all make sense? The only other game that sometimes people play is this. The custom sniper game is the same as the team standing game. It's just that it gives extra points for accuracy, things like that. So it's just really a different way that it scores. It's really the same game.
Is last man standing?
And then last man standing is just everybody against everybody. You have your friendly fire turned on, and it's the same kind of setup. You can change this however you like. It looks like the past people had kind of done a limited amount of ammo. That is kind of fun, but last time I played that, it will reload the gun.
Oh, yeah.
Like if they keep pulling the trigger. So there's a kind of a glitch in the system that doesn't really make them get out of bullets.
Okay.
But that works out okay because the kids fire their gun a lot anyway. And then just when you're doing the last man standing game, you would just take all the guns, and just put them all on the same team. So it looks like, so they're just all listed there because friendly fire is turned on. They're going to be able to hit everybody. Okay? Does that all make sense?
Yeah.
And okay, and then just the one other thing I forgot to say is just when you turn the computer on, you're going to plug in this box here, and you can either plug it in over on this side or on this side. And the way you know that it's plugged in is it has this 1 CCM here in the corner. Okay. And once you have that plugged in, I just encourage you to kind of set it aside and not let it get jostled too much, because if it comes unplugged, then it can't talk to the guns, and you'll have all the guns go red like this.
That's all we need. We don't need like Wi-Fi or anything.
You don't need Wi-Fi or anything. Okay. It's all radio frequency.
Cool.
So no Wi-Fi is needed.
Nice.
Okay.
Sounds really
all right, and then just